Saturday the 14th of August, 1982. Hazelpits Farm, Kent. "Oi, hey, cut that out!" demanded George, tugging the end of his long black wig from the mouth of the donkey on whose back he was balanced. "You can have our carrots as soon as we're given the green light." Throwing the tresses over his shoulder and adjusting his figure-hugging new bodysuit, George stroked the animal's mane and readied himself for their 10 minutes of fame. With himself dressed as Lady Godiva, the scene was made just a little more surreal because holding Eeyore's reins was a woman impersonating Joan of Arc. But then, the high-energy dance track coming from the room in front of them was replaced by the plinky-plonky sound of a glockenspiel, and the little girl vocals of Altered Images' Claire Grogan could be heard singing the opening bars of their pop anthem, Happy Birthday. Right on cue, the heavy curtains over the door were pulled back, and the reason for the fancy dress costumes explained. The Heroes and Villains Party, Hazelpits Summer 82, was in full swing. "Hold tight, we're going in," announced Grace, gently pulling the donkey's reins and cautiously leading it into the throng of sweaty revelers. Thankfully, the promise of a carrot supper did the trick, and the animal famed for its stubbornness strolled nonchalantly into the crowd with a grown man on its back. An entrance made all the more remarkable given the almost deafening volume of cheers which were generated by the sight of Lady Godiva on a whitish pony, the result of several canisters of lavender-scented talcum powder. Through his fringe, George could just about make out the raised area in the corner where the DJ was working his magic. And a few feet along from this was the birthday boy himself, Odie Olafsson. Bathed in a shower of tiny lights from the glitter ball above his head, the Dane looked every inch the Viking god, after which he was named and dressed. The fake beard that now accompanied his golden moustache making him look even more heavenly than he usually did. Certainly the wafts of talc released whenever one of the partygoers patted Eeyore's rump was enough to convince George that he really was floating on a cloud towards his personal Valhalla, albeit one which was lavender-scented and rather claggy. Indeed, given the noise and the powder, it was a miracle the poor animal hadn't bolted straight for the nearest exit. Perhaps he too was enraptured by the celestial vision beckoning them forward. That, or the generous handfuls of carrots that St. Joan was still feeding him as the trio made their way across the dance floor. Whatever the reason, moments later, George found himself being lifted onto the stage by Odie. Who was the most relieved? Eeyore or Lady Godiva was anyone's guess. But certainly, George was more than happy to swap beast for beauty.